Hey guys, welcome to the Soul on Fire show where we're going to ignite the passion within. I am your host, Noelle Agape, and I am a leading expert in health, wellness, and consciousness. I merge science and spirituality to literally ignite the passion within and get your soul on fire. Guys, hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here on the live, and thank you for those that are watching the replay. We have a great show today for you. It's just me again today, but we are going to go deep into family, and we're going to go deep into gratitude. We're going to talk about things that are all things raising your vibration, all things that make you in a better place. We're going to find a greater version of you. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching the replay. And today we're going to talk about gratitude and what that looks like, and tapping into the vibration of gratitude, and how actually, since Thanksgiving is tomorrow in the United States, I live in the United States, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. I want to talk about what brings you joy and how you get to a better version of yourself, but not only just get to a better version of yourself, but also raise your consciousness, also raise yourself to a higher level of higher frequency and higher vibration. And so today, gratitude is one of the most important things in my life, guys, and I use gratitude as such a source of who I am. I am grateful, eternally grateful for just everything in my life on a daily basis. So much so that, when I'm not living in gratitude, I actually get triggered, and I understand that, oh my gosh, there are things that I want in this world, yet I'm always grateful for the things that I have. One of the things I did want to talk about today is how you connect gratitude with family. Those of you that know me, I have two beautiful teenagers, and they are the light of my world, and they are my family, and they, just have been on this incredible journey with me. They are my favorite humans on this entire planet. And so if you can't find gratitude in something that brings you joy, guys, that's the most important thing, is that you truly find gratitude in something, right? And so just a perfect example is, like, tomorrow is actually Thanksgiving in the United States. And, I'm divorced, and they go back and forth with their dad, and we have a wonderful relationship, and everything is beautiful in that aspect. Yet, we don't get to spend Thanksgiving tomorrow because it's his Thanksgiving. So we are having Thanksgiving tonight, right? And we were cooking all morning and making yummy organic food for our family and our friends. And we're having like a friend's Thanksgiving tonight. But you could have, there's two sides of every coin always, guys. And that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about living in gratitude or living in, disappointment. And the opposite of gratitude is truly just disappointment and constantly longing or constantly wanting things. And the greatest thing in the world, guys, is that it's just a day, right? And so my family's still going to be with me. We're still cooking our traditions. We're still doing this. And we do this with Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the major holidays, right? Yet, many could take it as, oh my gosh, I'm going to be not with my children for Thanksgiving and all this stuff. But really, I just am so grateful for today. We had the best time this morning. We were literally, had Christmas music on, and we were cooking all morning, and we paused for an hour for this show, and we're going to go back to cooking tonight. And guys, when you stop and you just appreciate the little things in life, right? And gratitude is such a core component of really, truly, it's one of the highest vibrations in the planet. It really is. I mean, it truly gets you to the state of love. It gets you to a higher vibration. If you ever want to raise your frequency at all, one of the things that I have done, and the beautiful human Noelle Delgado, she actually taught me how to do it. And she just said, you do a gratitude journal for 40 days, right? You write everything that you possibly can write about, what you are grateful for before you even start your day. And then you write what you want to accomplish for the day. And then after that, the day ends, you write what was great about the day. And that's such a beautiful process. Thank you, Noelle, for that, because it truly changes my life. And every time that I actually sit down and do that for 40 days, my life like skyrockets, like literally skyrockets, guys. Every time I write in my gratitude journal, every time that I focus on things that are amazing in my life and the gifts that have been given to me, I actually literally can manifest anything that I want when I'm in gratitude. And that's what I want to talk about, guys, is that, whether it's a situation or a circumstance or things that you can be disappointed about, you can be angry about, excuse me, you you have to actually change your mentality. You have to change your thought pattern. You have to change your way of being, right? And if I was not living in gratitude, and if I wasn't in a place where I wasn't going to see my children tomorrow, who are my favorite humans in the world, you know, I would be upset. I would be, you know, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm not upset. But instead, we, you know, their entire life, we pivoted. Half the time they're with their dad and half their time they're with me. And it's perfect, because whether it's Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, it doesn't matter. We still have our holiday. Whether it's Thanksgiving Eve or Thanksgiving Day, it doesn't matter. We still have our holiday, right? And so you get to create your life. You get to do what you want to do. You get to live the life that you want to live. You just have to choose higher vibrations. You have to choose a higher frequency. You have to move your energy. You have to move your thoughts out of a space that is of anything that is blocking you or disappointing you in any way. And so gratitude to me is such a tremendous journey, because gratitude really is it's just standing in love, right? You are grateful, you are wonderful, you are thankful for all that you have, right? Tomorrow is Thanksgiving in the United States. I know it's not Thanksgiving all over the world, but for us, we celebrate it tomorrow. And so many people just are like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful during this week of Thanksgiving, which is wonderful, but it really, gratitude is something that you should incorporate in your daily being. You should truly just stop and you should say, oh my gosh, wow, look how pretty that flower is. Oh my gosh, I love my daughter so much. I'm so thankful for them. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love that. I could enjoy this moment of 10 minutes of peace, whatever it may be. I could enjoy petting my dog. There's something in your life that you can be grateful for, guys. There's something, and if you can't find anything in your life that you're grateful for, you actually need to do a reality check within and what's going on within you, because there are so many things in life. It's just you breathing on a daily basis, you should have gratitude for. And so today, our show is going to go deep into the emotional body, which is what we talk about on this show, right? We talk about the emotional body. We talk about your thoughts and your minds, and moving from your body and your mind to a greater version of yourself. So with gratitude, it's such an easy process. And what many don't understand is that when they connect to that over and over and over again, it's actually builds momentum within you to raise your frequency to a love. It literally moves you to the next level of your life. And so when you start with gratitude and you start your day with gratitude, that is the most important thing, because that actually moves you into then service, right? And so if you realize that you have something in your life you can be grateful for, then you can actually go out and you can help somebody that doesn't have as much as you, or somebody that needs a little bit more help, right? And so when you understand that you're not in the victim mode and you're actually in a place where you get to choose, I promise you guys, when you step into gratitude and you step into a life of service, like, my life is dedicated to changing the vibration of the planet and service and changing humanity, really. And so when you move into service, you realize that you can't feel sorry for yourself. You realize you can't be in the victim. You realize that you can find gratitude and be grateful for all things that are in your life, because there are somebody else that you have walked the path before them, or you're living a better life in some way than they are. And guys, if there are many people, especially nowadays, that don't have very much, right? And you don't have a lot you don't have to have a lot to give. You don't have to have a lot to serve. You can help somebody by buying them a cup of coffee. You can help someone by listening. You can help someone by smiling. You can help and be grateful for everything in your life, and actually just emanate that out into the world, right? When you're at a higher vibration and you connecting to higher frequencies, you literally can move yourself to that space, but then it's like a ripple effect that you get to move out into the world. So often and I promise you guys that there's every day, all day, that there is an opportunity for you to either live in gratitude or live in anger or disappointment or whatever it may be, right? And so everything is focusing on what is going on within you, right? There's nothing going on in your external world that is not going on within your internal world. And if it is showing up in your external world as something that you don't want, the opposite already exists, right? Every dimension in time and space and reality is that everything exists. So if you change your thought perspective to gratitude and you start to live in that space and you start to say, oh my gosh, wow, I'm so thankful for this water right here. I'm so thankful that I'm able to take a sip of water. I'm so thankful for my children. I'm so thankful for my home. I'm so thankful for, just putting yourself in that mode. And if you're in a deep depression or if you're in a dark place, it's going to be very hard for you to see that. But I promise you guys, if you do this for 30 to 40 days and you start to alter and shift the way you think, and the words are a vibration, your words are such a powerful, powerful magnetic force. And when you start to put yourself in that realm, where you're speaking your reality, you're living, it becomes, you start speaking it, and then you start thinking it, and then you start believing it, and then the patterns start to come into your life. And guys, when you take a step back and you just analyze your life and you're like, where can I be more grateful? Where can I show more love? Where can I help somebody that actually needs help? Where can I come from a life of service? How can I actually change everything that's going on? Right? It allows you to be the observer in your life. And I speak about that a lot on this channel, right? I speak about being the observer of what's going on in your life. And there's not a moment in time where life doesn't teach you. And those that know me, I'm an NLP master trainer and I'm a quantum energy trainer. I work in the quantum fields and I play deep into the quantum field. So I understand energy and I manipulate energy a lot more than most. Yet I make a conscious effort and a diligent effort to. Something happened this morning, and I saw something this morning, and it was truly triggered me, right? And the first thing that I did was like, whoa, what can this teach me? How can I be better? This is showing me that I'm actually not in the vibration that I want to be in with this person, right? And it instantly went into, oh my gosh, I get to wake up and cook an amazing, organic, beautiful meal with my kids. And we just had an incredible morning. I mean, the three of us were just cooking like crazy, all of the Thanksgiving things. And it was, such a beautiful gift. Last night I had 4 teenagers in my house making, Christmas gingerbread houses. And so I could have stopped and said, oh my gosh, I have 4 teenagers in my house. The house is noisy. It's messy. It was the most, instead, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I am so blessed. I get to have a home that they get to feel safe and they get to have fun and they get to love on everybody. And so guys, if you don't have a home or if you don't have a family or if you don't have anything, there is something in your life that you can actually change, right? You can actually, if you're in a situation of hardship, which many, many are, and I never want to take away from that, right? I never want to take away from somebody being in a situation of hardship, but I promise you guys that there's never been a time, and I've lived in hardship and I've lived in extreme wealth, and there's never been a time ever, regardless of how much money I had. I mean, there were moments where I was living in such the extreme that I didn't know how to get through the day. Yet I still found ways to help people, whether it was a smile, whether it was a laughter, whether it was just kindness. And I promise you, the more that you live in that space, the more that you don't focus on, it's not about you, it's about we and the collective. And how can you be better? And there are times where people does need help, right? And that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying when you're in deep dire need. I'm saying that what happens very often is that it's part of a karmic loop, and we're going to go deep into that to the next segment of what karma looks like, and how when you're putting out gratitude, and how when you're coming from a place of service, even at the places, if you're at extreme poverty, there's still gifts you can give to this world, right? You can give love, you can give a smile, you can give warmth to somebody that needs it, right? And that's how it works. It's the law of cause and effect. And again, we're going to go deep into that into the next segment. But for this first segment, I just want to talk about gratitude and how it truly is one of the highest frequencies in the planet. And when you get to gratitude and you understand that there is so many things in this beautiful world that you can be thankful for. So many things where you can just stop and appreciation, right? I mean, the appreciation is such a key word for me, because if you're not feeling appreciated, guys, I promise you're not serving enough. And I'm going to say that again. If you're not feeling gratitude and you're not feeling appreciation, you're not serving enough, because there are many opportunities in life where if you take a step back and it's not about you, and you're not feeling appreciated, you're not feeling valued, you're not feeling gratitude in your life, then you're not serving someone else in the highest realm. And that is one of the things that is my core to who I am, to my core. There is never a moment where I stay in the victim. There's never a moment where, I mean, there's moments where I need help, of course, and there's moments in my life where I didn't know what I was doing, and I was struggling. And there were moments of great abundance. But during those times when I would take the focus off of me and the problems in my life, and I would start and I would serve others, right? I would go and I would help other people as much as possible, right? I mean, Thanksgiving's a perfect opportunity. Go to a homeless shelter and help them. Give, your leftovers to a homeless person. There's so many opportunities. Bring a friend over for dinner that doesn't have much going on. Give to charities. Give as much as you possibly can to people in need, and it will take away from where you are in the victim, and you are if you're ever feeling depleted, if you're ever feeling like you're not appreciated, I promise you guys, if you do this for the next 30 days, you just stop and you have a gratitude journal, and you out loud, you say everything that you're grateful for. Just make a list of everything that you're grateful for, even if it's just one thing, and you focus on that for 30 days. It will move your vibration, it will move your frequency, and the more that you can be in appreciation for others, and the more that you can be in service for others, and the more that you can be in gratitude for the things around you, it truly does change your vibration, and it moves you into a frequency that is the highest frequency on the planet. And it's like the universe saying, hey, look, Noelle's actually not thinking about herself. She's actually serving someone else, even when she's in a time of need. Oh, look at that. Noelle has so much abundance. Let's give her more, because she's actually has abundance and giving back to the world, right? And it's this little life hack that many actually know, but many don't use. And so if you understand that you, the more that you give, the more that you are an appreciation of others, the more that you serve others, the more that you understand that the universe sees that and respects that and honors that. And it's not spiritual, guys. That's just science. And we're going to talk about the law of cause and effect in just a little bit. We're going to go deep into karma and how that looks. And karma meaning that it's not good, bad, or indifferent. It's just what you put out comes back to you. And so when you put out gratitude, and when you put out appreciation, and when you put out service, and when you put out love, and when you put out kindness, that truly does come back to you, guys. And that is what Thanksgiving really truly is about, is being thankful and grateful and being blessed. It's not about, oh my gosh, I don't have enough. Even Christmas, the holiday season is coming up, right? It's there's so much going on with COVID and the lockdowns that so many people are like warped sense of oh my gosh, well, I can't do this for Christmas and all this stuff. And in reality, guys, just take a step back and see what you're grateful for. Make a home cooked meal with your family, right? You don't have to spend all of that money on presents and gifts and material things and anything. Just take a minute and make some homemade gifts if you have to, or if you can, order online. But take an opportunity to this time that everyone is saying is such a bad, horrible time. Take an opportunity to take a step back and maybe just retreat a little bit. When you retreat, you actually see things from a different perspective, right? All of the masters have done it. Jesus has done it. Buddha has done it. The Dalai Lama has done it. It's when you take time and you go within and you take the isolation, is what they're calling it, right? Or the lockdown or whatever it may be that's going on across the world again, right? Instead of looking at it like they're trying to manipulate me, they're trying to control me, take a pause and say, Wow, I actually get to have time with my family. I get to, cook with my kids instead of going out to dinner and spending a ton of money, right? And there's always something in your life that you can be grateful for. There's always something that you could be better at. There's always more service that you can give to this world. So, guys, I promise you that once you step into that, into gratitude, into service, and you take the thoughts off of yourself and you move them on to, from me to we, and you move them onto the collective and you move them onto society and you move them out from you, and you stop focusing on you being the victim or you being not appreciated or anything like that. And the opposite of gratitude is not being appreciated, right? And so if you're not feeling appreciated, it's because you're actually so focused on not focused on yourself. I mean, internally, like you're doing the work, but you're focused on your ego and you're focused on and not a good vibration. So how to do that? Just truly find something in your life. There's got to be something in your life, even if it's this breath that you're taking right now, that you can be grateful for. Find something that you can actually understand and appreciate. And the next step after that, guys, is get out and serve in some way. It doesn't have to be that you're going to a homeless shelter for Thanksgiving. Go out and help a friend that needs help. Do whatever it is that you need to. Smile at the mailman. Whatever it is to be a better person. I promise you that when you make a conscious choice to think consciously and be conscious with other humans, that's when the law of cause and effect starts to come back to you. And we're going to go deep into that for the next segment into karma and how that looks and what you put out and how that comes back to you and how that looks energetically, right? And so on this channel, we merge spirituality and science, and we get you to literally to the greatest version of yourself, because we tap into your soul and we ignite your passion within. And so our show today is sponsored by my company, and it is Noelle Agape Global. We have a couple different hubs from Noelle Agape Global, and one of the most important ones is we have a hub called Infinite Wellness, and that is a hub of all things health, wellness, and consciousness. We have practitioners that are here for service. They bring their gifts out to the world, whether it's through yoga or the quantum. They actually tap into your reality and they change your belief system. It is the most beautiful gift that I have been given, is my Infinite Wellness team. We have my Soul on Fire show, which I get to change the voice of millions, right? By understanding and empowering people through whatever it is that they need to. And then we have all things health, wellness, and consciousness there. So today my show is sponsored by Noelle Agape Global, and we will be right back, guys, and we're going to talk deep into karma and what that looks like. Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching live, and thank you so much for watching on the replay. Today we're talking about gratitude, and we're talking about raising your frequency and moving from a lower frequency to a higher frequency. And if you're not feeling appreciated, to get out and serve. And I promise you, when you realize that there are people out there that need your help more than you need to be sitting in that self-pity, then that moves you into a state of gratitude. We talked about having a gratitude journal and just finding things in your life for 30 days to 40 days to actually just focusing on gratitude. We talked about how when you do that, it actually raises your frequency and it moves you to a different vibration. And so the next step from there, guys, is understanding karma and understanding what gratitude is, and understanding the law of cause and effect. And this is basic science, guys, is that, every action has an opposite reaction, and every action has something that emanates from it, right? And so when you're looking at it from a scientific point of view, and that's what we do on this channel, we merge spirituality and science on this channel. And so, karma, what is karma? And so many people throw this word around, especially the gurus today. They throw this word around, right? And what it looks like. And karma is not good or bad. And it's like, people say all the time, karma's a bitch, or, karma's only a bitch if you've been a bitch, right? Excuse me, but that's the truth, right? And so the law of cause and effect is really just truly everything that you put out into the universe has to come back to you. It has to have a space to come back, right? And so what does karma look like? And I teach my kids this all the time. This is probably one of the most important things that I teach them. I teach them two major things from science because I have all of my background and my education is in science, right? And so I teach them the law of cause and effect, which is, everything that you put out into the universe is going to come back to you in some way. And it may take some time to come back. But if it's a good thing that you put out, you get that in return, right? And the universe always has your back, but the universe is always showing you and teaching you where you are and what vibration you are at, right? And so if you truly are at a place where you're, doing really angry things or you're hurting people, that is going to come back to you in some way. And it's a soul's journey that you go on, and there's never a time. And, those of you that know me know that I believe that your soul doesn't just die and that your soul continues on. And so even if it's not in this lifetime where you have that karma, you have ancestral karma that you're bringing with you from lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of your ancestral, right? So emotions can be carried through as an energetic form and imprinted in you, and then you have to heal that, right? And the other is the law of polarity. And the law of polarity is such an important component because if you look at things from a place of manifesting, if you look at things from not living your best life, the law of polarity is if something is showing up in your life like fear, anger, hurt, sadness, guilt, or shame, or something like that, the opposite has to exist, right? And so it's the same vibration, just as a different strand. And you have to actually choose which end of the stick you want to work with, right? So if you're working in this manifestation realm and you want to manifest a better life, right? The word manifestation, everybody throws around so frequently, and actually we're manifesting all day, every day. It is everything that is going on in your belief system, and your internal guide is really the energy that you're emanating out into the world. So what do, right? You take a check-in with you and you say, okay, how can I be better? What's going on in my finances, right? What's the karma with my money? And how can I be better with money? How can I be more diligent with money? Am I spending money frequently? What's my belief system around money? Money being one component, right? Do the same thing with your body. What's my belief system around my body? Am I treating my body with respect? Am I treating others with respect? Am I treating others with kindness, right? Am I doing that? Then go move into your mind. What's my thought pattern, right? Is it a lower frequency of thoughts? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it hurt? Is it sadness? Am I really angry at this person? Am I putting hatred onto someone else? Because guys, I promise you, if you're putting hatred onto someone else, that will always come back to you. Always. And there is no way to escape that, because that is just energy. It is a boomerang, right? And the more that you're putting hatred out, especially nowadays in everything that's going on in society, if you can just stop and you can understand that you're not part of the solution if you are putting hatred on anyone ever. And I'm going to say that again. You're not part of the solution if you're putting hatred on anyone. At any moment in time, if you're emanating hatred out to anyone, you're not part of the solution. And that's going to be a raw and real, maybe even trigger for some people, right? But the solution is always love. The solution is always gratitude. The solution is always appreciation. The solution is always, they are teaching me, even if it's nasty and it hurts, they are teaching you in some way to be a better person. Maybe even just showing you that you shouldn't be acting like them, right? Because relationships are mirrors. And we're going to talk about that in the next segment, right? How when you live in gratitude, when you live in appreciation, when you live in, from the law of cause and effect, or the law of polarity, and you see that, oh, hey, I'm actually not being a kind person right now. I'm actually hurting this person right now. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to do better. I'm going to be better. Then that's when your life starts to shift, right? But if you use relationships as a mirror and you understand, and again, that's our next segment, is relationships as mirrors. You understand that the more karma you put out in that is a higher frequency, and you connecting to, you're a vibration, and you're connecting that vibrational match to a frequency. And so whatever vibrational match is coming out from you, your thoughts become things, right? Electromagnetic field. We talk about this all the time. Your electro is your thoughts. Your magnetic is your heightened sense of emotion. Whatever your heightened sense of emotion is from that thought is what you're emanating out into the world. So gratitude being the highest vibration of the planet, and love and appreciation, right? That with a heightened sense of emotion, those thoughts, you connect those, that's what's emanating out into the world. If you're living from a space of anger and hatred, and you're upset, I promise you it's the internal work that you have to do. Again, the more that you're in service of others, the more that you realize that your journey that you're on is really to bring everything through you out into the world and get your gifts out to the world. And so how that looks is, you really have to be diligent and be conscious of how you're treating people. You have to be conscious of what you're doing in your life. You have to be conscious of your thoughts. You have to be conscious of how you are to yourself, guys. And if you don't have, before we go into the next segment of relationships and as the mirrors, I want to talk about karma with yourself, guys. And so when you don't have self-love, when you don't have a self-appreciation, when you're not in a place where you can, even if somebody hurts you, you can come to forgiveness. And forgiveness is never about the other person. It is 100% about you, right? And so when you can stop and pause and say, I need to be the observer today. And I love, in the first segment, I talked about how Noelle Delgado, amazing human. She showed me how to do a gratitude journal, and your gratitude journal is, you list everything that you're grateful for, and then what you want to accomplish in the day. And then at the end of the day, you list everything that happened that you were grateful for that day. Right. And so, it's this beautiful cycle of, wait, I actually want to bring gratitude into what I want to create today. And then from that space, I want to see what I created today. And then I want to bring all the gratitude to it. Right. And so my suggestion to you is every single night, just take a check-in. And I do this every single day. I clear my energy in the morning. I set my intention in the morning. I meditate for an hour each day in the morning, and an hour at night. I set my intention in the morning. I clear all my chakras. I go through my energy fields. I do deep energy work, so it's a little bit different for me. And then I set my intention for the day. And as I get triggered throughout the day, what I ask myself always, guys, is, oh, wow, I'm triggered right now. Why am I triggered right now? Why am I so upset about this right now? This is what I'm a match to, right? And I take accountability for it. This is what I'm a vibrational match to, which means, so if I want to manifest my actual desire, I have to change my frequency. I have to change what I'm thinking. I have to change that. How do I get there? Most of the time, almost always through gratitude, almost always through appreciation, almost because it's a lesson for you, right? And again, in the next segment, we're going to talk about how relationships are mirrors, and they are lessons for you as well. Yet, if you can't be the observer in your own life, if you can't observe where you're in gratitude and where you're not in gratitude, if you can't observe where you're feeling like more of a victim mentality, right? This morning, something happened, and almost every day of my life, not almost every day of my life, something happens where I'm learning, and I have this insatiable gift of knowledge. I have a tremendous amount of knowledge in my brain, as well as a lot of education, yet I'm constantly seeking to learn, because it's a beautiful gift for me. And so I was going about my day, and then I got triggered by something, and it was something that I wanted, and I actually realized that I wasn't getting, but it was something somebody else was actually getting it. And it was like triggered a little bit of jealousy, and it triggered a little bit of like, oh, I was like, whoa, how is that actually happening right now? And so it just showed me where I was vibrating. It showed me where my vibration was. It showed me that I was not in alignment with that, but I was in alignment with whatever it was. And so it was showing up in my life to teach me to get into better alignment with what I wanted. Again, the law of cause and effect is that what I put out is always going to come back to me, right? So I could have had jealousy in that moment, and I stopped. I did for a second, and then I stopped, and I adjusted my vibration. I adjusted my thoughts. I adjusted, and I said, oh, wow, okay, well, maybe this is for the greatest and highest good, and maybe there's something that this is supposed to be teaching me, or I actually didn't stop and know, or maybe I'm actually being protected right now. Maybe I'm not getting that because I'm being protected, and something better is coming for me. And the second that I did that, I'm not even joking, guys. The second that I did that, I got a phone call, and it was something that was so much better than I could ever imagine, because I stopped and was like, oh, wait, what is this teaching me? Oh, maybe I'm being protected. Maybe there's a reason, and there's whatever is for the highest good. I'm going to be grateful for that lesson. I'm going to be so thankful for that lesson. And I went into gratitude, and I went into appreciation, and I went into understanding, and I went into being the observer of my life. And literally within seconds, guys, I got a phone call that was like, would blow my mind, because it's never happened before. And I moved myself into a vibration, and I actually released the resistance around it, because it was something completely better that I never expected would happen. And it happened. And it turned out that it was so much better than what I was asking for. But had I gotten what I asked for, it wasn't truly in alignment with me, or at least now, right? And so I released the resistance around it, and then opened up space for that. But if I were in anger, if I were in jealousy, if that's the vibration I would have just kept emanating out. And that's what the universe would have showed me, right? The universe would have brought back to me exactly what I was putting out there. But I changed, I stopped, and I changed, and I said, wait a minute. This is teaching me something. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? And then when that other thing happened, I actually was so grateful. I was like, oh my gosh, that makes complete sense, because if I actually took this thing that happened this morning and I actually was in that space, this wouldn't have happened, right? So it gave me a huge sense of gratitude overall, because if A didn't happen, B wouldn't have happened, right? And so, but it allowed me to, one, be in more gratitude, but two, to be the observer of my life and what I was emanating out. You manifest all day, every day, guys. There is no nothing. The only thing that you do when you manifest is you are connected to a frequency, right? And so you can connect to a frequency of being in a victim, and you'll get more of being in a victim. You can connect to the frequency of being in hatred, and you'll get more of being hatred. That's the law of cause and effect, guys. The law of cause and effect is whatever you are emanating out comes back to you, right? And like attracts like. And so the more you resist, the more it persists. So if I stayed in the vibration this morning of jealousy and anger, I was there because I'm human, right? And it instantly triggered me, but instantly I know now, oh, whoa, that's jealousy. And oh, that's actually not a great place for me to be. What do I need to learn from this situation? Show me what I need to learn. How can I be better? What is the greatest and highest good? How can I be in gratitude for everything that I have? Completely released that situation. And as soon as I released that situation, was enjoying myself with my kids, cooking, I got an amazing phone call that literally would never have happened had I not released that. And so the more that you put out, that is a high vibration of love, of gratitude, of service, of service, of service, of service, the more that you can see, oh my gosh, wow, I can actually be better in this place. It opens up the space for the universe to actually bring you what you want. Your heart's desire is, if it's a desire that's on your heart and it's not manifesting, guys, that take an opportunity to go within. Where am I not in gratitude in my life? Where am I not in forgiveness in my life? Where am I holding hatred in my life? Where am I holding a vibration? What's going on within me that is not allowing this to come into my life? What is showing up in my life right now? Because that's actually what I'm manifesting. That's what I'm that's the frequency I'm at right now. How do I change that frequency? You change it by your thoughts and your elevated state of emotion, right? And so you frequently have to be I call myself like the investigator, because I'm constantly understanding the law of cause and effect. And it's like, well, if this happened, then this is, then this happened as well, right? So I must have manifested what happened this morning because of some sort of thinking that was going on within me. And then as soon as I shifted to a different level of thought, that's when everything else shifted for me, right, guys? So it's this beautiful dance with the universe back and forth. And when you have a relationship with yourself, truly have a relationship with yourself, you get to have a relationship with the universe. And when you have a relationship with the universe, you get signs and synchronicities, and you start to understand that what you manifest is actually coming from you, not an outside source, right? So that's the law of cause and effect. The law of polarity is that any opposite is always going to have an opposite reaction, right? And so if things are showing up in your life this morning, when the jealousy was showing up in my life, or the situation was showing up in my life, the opposite was already existed, right? Because that's the quantum world, right? Everything exists, past, present, and future. Past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. So I had a choice to actually stay in that vibration of really, really, really low vibration, or I had a choice to understand that what's the opposite of jealousy is appreciation, gratitude, right? And as soon as I went into that, honor, respect, love, that's, whoa, oh my gosh, this is teaching me. I'm going to honor this person for doing this for me, right? I went into that. And as soon as I flipped it, something beautiful that like I would never expect happen in a million years changed my entire day, changed the trajectory of my life, changed the trajectory of my entire being, right? So again, guys, when you understand that you truly do create your reality, but you create your reality all day, every day. And it's not, oh my gosh, I'm going to manifest this, or, oh my gosh, I'm going to create this. I'm going to generate this. I'm going to generate money. It's just like, okay, it's the energy and the frequency that you're at. And when you're at a higher vibration and a higher frequency, that's the energy and that you connect to, right? So guys, we will be right back. And then we're going to talk about relationships as mirrors. We'll be right back. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you to those that are on the live. Thank you that are watching the replay. Today we are talking about gratitude and the frequency of gratitude and appreciation, and how that actually changes your life when you actually tap into that. Then we talked about, in the first segment, we talked about how understanding gratitude and understanding that you can come from a place of service. And if you're in a place of service, you're always knowing that there's somebody that is in a worse position than you. And that place of service can either be just a hug, a love, or actual, donating money, getting out there into the fields. Do whatever you have to do to help others, because I promise you that will get you in a place of gratitude for everything that you have. Next, we spoke about karma and what that looks like, and then the law of cause and effect and the law of polarity, and how every action has an opposite reaction, and you get to choose where you want to be in the vibrational frequency that you're putting out. And with karma, you get to literally, you cannot make a conscious choice over and over, or even unconscious choice, without it coming back to you, right? So right now we're going to talk about relationships and how that looks like in that realm, right? So when you're coming from a place of gratitude, when you're coming from a place of appreciation, when you're coming from a place of self-love, when you're coming from a place of honoring and serving, right? It is allowing you to have a better relationship with yourself, which allows you to have better relationships with other people. So coming from a place of relationships are mirrors. This has been talked about so often, but if you come from a place of relationships are mirrors and nothing shows up in your life without you understanding that it's a beautiful lesson and a beautiful gift, right? You can actually start to have gratitude for people. that came into your life. And even though and some people, have hurt you tremendously or heartbreak or anything, when you understand that you can come from a relationship space and have gratitude for the lessons that they taught you, have gratitude for showing you that you don't want a relationship that like you had, have gratitude and appreciation for all that they are and all that they were, forgiveness for everything, right? And forgiveness is never about the other person. Forgiveness is about you and finding yourself and raising your frequency and your vibration. So what does that look like? Relationship is mirrors. There's never, ever a moment that even, the most intimate relationships or family and intimate relationships, they teach you the most. They are your greatest teachers. You guys have come in and your souls have jumped in and said, hey, we're going to teach you this. And some of those lessons are not easy. And some are the most beautiful lessons you'll ever have in your life. And some turn into the most beautiful lessons of your life from your pain. So through your pain is always your purpose. But usually through your souls come in and they jump in as a soul family. And most of the time, your family teaches you, right? Most of the time, whether good, bad, or indifferent, your family shows you how to bring your gifts out to the world. It shows you how to be a better person. It shows you how to live in a higher frequency of gratitude. And it shows you where you can actually change the frequency of whatever is going on in your life, and you can actually bring that out to the world and to the gifts and bring it to service. So if something happened in your life or in your family, in a relationship, and it was not the vibration that you wanted to be on or the frequency that you wanted to be on, the best thing that you can do is you can take a step back. You can find forgiveness for an appreciation for the situation, because if there is something in that situation that your soul has chosen, there's something in that situation that you literally have to bring your gifts out to the world too, right? And so again, that brings you always, my life is of service. And you guys know that is that I am at global impact, and there is nothing that will stop me. There are two things that are my non-negotiables, and it is my children and my purpose, right? And so when you understand that there is every situation, whether it was an abusive father or whether it was a husband that cheated on you or a wife that cheated on you, or you did something to somebody else, you cheated or hurt someone, right? It is every situation is teaching you. Every situation is showing you to be a better version of yourself. Every situation is showing you to bring your gifts that you have within you out to the world. And every one of you have a different gift to bring out to the world. And your pain is trigger point to understand that is where your purpose lies, right? So the relationships start out as mirrors. And once you live your life as the observer, you can take a step back and say, oh, how can I take accountability for this? How can I take accountability for my actions and my behavior? Because you're in control of your emotions, right? You can't control how others are going to react, but you can 100% control how you're going to react to them. And they can't control how you're going to react to them. And they're not in charge of your emotions, and you're not in charge of their emotions. And when you understand that, guys, that's when you get to a relationships at a higher level, right? You take relationships as mirrors and you say, wow, we're teaching each other, we're learning, we're growing from this. But then you get to have boundaries and say, no, thank you. I'm good with that, right? I thank you for the lesson. I have so much gratitude for you in showing me the lesson in my life, and I'm done with this lesson, and I'm going to make conscious choices now. And I spoke about that last week, as in discernment and judgment, right? When you're judging yourself or when you're judging others, it's a super, super low vibration. It cannot allow you to have gratitude for the gifts and the situations that they have brought you, right? And so again, those of you that know me know that I've had a pretty crazy childhood. At the same time, it was, speaking of polarity, right? I had, a divorced family, and my father was an alcoholic and he was abusive. And then, my mom was a single mom, yet my grandparents were very, very wealthy, and they were the soulmates and had the most beautiful love in the world. So I had this mass polarity, and I got to choose along the way, right? And then every relationship that was in my life was teaching me, oh, hey, am I in, focusing on the fact that I had an abusive father and a divorced family, or am I focusing on the beautiful love that I was raised with in a resort, right? I grew up on a resort with my grandparents that had so much love for me. But but the relationships in my life have taught me and shown me where I can grow and where I need to release the resistance in the one aspect. And the one thing that I am incredible at is understanding polarity and understanding that with the dark comes the light, and with the sadness comes the happiness, and with the joy. And so behind all of that is your purpose, right? And so if you take that out and you learn, that's wonderful, and that's where you can help and improve yourself. But the next step from learning is actually teaching, and that's where you get to bring your gifts out to the world, and you get to show that, oh my gosh, I've actually mastered this, and I get to actually teach it now to humanity. I get to change humanity from that. And again, it doesn't have to be on a TV show like me, guys. It could just be however it may be. I'm going to teach my kids to be better humans because I didn't have a great father, or I'm going to have the most loving home in the world because, that was something that I was lacking when I was very little, right? So you get to choose where you want to live your life. The law of polarity is always there. It is always showing you in relationships, when you honor you and you honor the person, even if it's not a place or a person that needs to be honored, you come from a place that it's a lesson, and you learn from the lesson, and then you bring that gift out into the world, guys. It is the most beautiful thing that you can do, is when you transmute, and energy doesn't ever go away. It just gets transmuted, right? And so when you transmute negative energy into positive energy, it is the most beautiful gifts you can have in your life, because it always leads you to a higher place. It always leads you to a better version of yourself. It leads you to the most amazing gifts of bringing your gifts out to the world of service, right? And so it's a soul's journey, and it's understanding that it's a soul's journey. And when you understand that your soul came here and said, hey, I'm going to actually understand, and like I came here for part of my gift is self-mastery, mastering the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. And for me to be able to teach that, I actually have to live it too, right? So I allow all experiences to come into my life, and I choose which ones I want to be in. On a daily basis, the universe shows me where I can be better. On a daily basis, I choose to be better. On a daily basis, the universe shows me where I can be kinder. I choose to be kinder. On a daily basis, the universe shows me where I can live in gratitude, and I choose to live in gratitude. I don't care how much money I have. I don't care what I'm doing in my life. There's always something that I could do better. There's always something how I could be better. There's always more gratitude that I can live my life in. There's always more service that you can be giving, guys. And so when you understand from that space, when you understand that you can actually have a choice, you get to choose the relationships in your life. You get to choose the lessons you want in your life. Discernment, not judgment. You can have boundaries, guys. And there are many times, and I'm not saying allow people to walk all over you. I'm not saying allow people to abuse you in any way. I'm actually saying the opposite. I'm saying have enough self-love and have enough understanding that they are teaching you a lesson. That lesson very well might be, you deserve more. You are better than this. You are worthy. You are deserving. You are lovable. You are whole and complete exactly how you are. And you get to grow from that space. You get to grow into love. You get to grow into a relationship that is thriving and loving and honoring you. But that cannot get there until you are loving and thriving and honoring yourself. And so relationships are mirrors. And so if you're not liking what's showing up in your life, guys, I promise you it is because you're not going within and finding out the true meaning, right? Do I not feel lovable? Do I not feel worthy? Do I not feel whole and complete? Do I not feel safe, secure, and protected right now? Do I not feel good enough? Or the opposite of those, right? I'm like, I am so good enough. I am definitely worthy. I am absolutely lovable. I am, without question, I'm safe and secure right now. I am protected in every realm. I am lovable. I am whole and complete, right? You start to use I am statements. You start to be the observer in your life. You start to live in gratitude. You start to live in service. You start to give your life meaning. That's when it starts to all click, guys. And it's like, oh, the universe is like, oh, she's listening. Oh, wow, she's really listening. Oh my gosh, She's really living in love right now. Oh my God, look how she honored that person, even though that person hurt her. And look how now she's honoring herself by having boundaries. Look how, oh my gosh, she's having her money under management. I'm going to give her more money because I can understand that we're going to give her more money because we understand that she now can manage money. And she's not just doing things from the ego, but she's actually giving money to service and serving people and serving others. I promise you guys, it is all within you. If you take a step back and you do the inner work and not just say, yeah, I'm going to do the inner work, but you make a conscious, diligent choice to be a better person every single day. You be a better person to others. You be a better person to yourself. You be a better person to your family. You just find ways to be better. It is serving everyone that is around you. Guys, you have greatness within you. You get to choose. There is never a time where something is showing up in your life that is there not a better version of you that can come out of that. Take that conscious choice and make that conscious choice. Make a conscious effort to say, I love me so much. And there are moments in time in relationships right now, we're talking about relationships and mirror and gratitude and all that stuff. I love you, but I love me so much more. And I'm going to live in gratitude with myself, and I'm going to live in honor with myself, and I'm going to honor me by having boundaries. And you don't need to have borders and shut people out completely, but you do need to have boundaries. And there are times where you need to have those borders and to keep safe, and that's not what I'm talking about. If that's the case, you need to do whatever it is you need to do to be safe. I love you guys, and I need you to know that when you choose gratitude, when you choose appreciation, when you choose honor, when you choose love, when you choose not to hurt people, when you choose consciously to make a choice that's better for you, yourself, the universe, for other humans, when you choose to be better every day, the universe has your back. God sourced the universe, whether you believe in spirituality or science, there's a better version of you waiting to come out. I promise you that you tap into that. There's no going back, guys. You are beautiful. You are loved. You are worthy. You are good enough. You are safe, secure, and protected, and you are whole and complete exactly how you are. I love you from my soul. Happy Thanksgiving for those that are in the U.S. and just have a beautiful, beautiful day for those that are not. I'm loving you and I'm pouring love into you. Thank you guys so much for watching on the live and the replay. If any of this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Go to noelleagape.com, guys. This is all things health, wellness, and consciousness. And I promise you guys, our mission is to get this message out to as many people as possible. We are here to change the vibration of the planet. We are here to ignite the passion within and set your soul on fire. We are here to literally make humanity better. I love you so much, and I am so grateful for you. Happy Thanksgiving again, and have a beautiful day. I am grateful for all that you are. I love you.